Remember Kramer? He's back in book form.
Hey, we're ordering Chinese food. If you want anything, let me know what it is and I'll order it.
Hey guys, Mike here. Welcome back to my channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and let's get into today's video. Okay, so this is a little bit late to the party, but I did realize recently that Michael Richards, who is best known or pretty much only known for his role as Kramer from Seinfeld, was sort of in the news again, doing a lot of PR and publicity for his new book, Entrances and Exits. And if you are a fan of Seinfeld, you would know that Kramer is one of the most beloved sitcom characters of all time.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of all my furniture. All of it. And I'm gonna build these different levels. You know, with steps. And it'll all be carpeted. With a lot of pillows.
He really brought so much to that show, particularly with his physical style comedy and bringing the wackiness of this character to life.
I says, well, I got a little prize for you, buddy. Knocked him out cold.
That being said, ever since Seinfeld ended in the late 90s, you might notice that Michael Richards has been pretty absent from public appearances or movie, TV roles, and etc. After Seinfeld, he did have a failed sitcom called The Michael Richards Show. I actually haven't seen it, but I do want to watch it and do a video on it on this channel because apparently it was really weird. But Michael Richards was actually pretty seriously cancelled back in 2006 with an incident at the Laugh Factory. You see, while he was doing a stand-up comedy set, Michael Richards was being heckled by two punters.
Not funny! That's why you reset! Never had no show, never had no movie! Seinfeld, that's it!
They also happened to be African American, which led Michael Richards to have what can only be described as an extremely racist outburst, using the worst slur you can possibly use.
You can talk your brain now,
And this caused an enormous outrage worldwide at what can only be described as pretty explicit racism.
I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry to the African American community.
And keep in mind, this was 2006, which to all my Gen Z viewers who may or may not be watching was essentially a very different time. Camera phones were pretty new and not many people had them, and also the internet wasn't as readily accessible as it was today. Seriously guys, I remember being a kid and having to ring my dad to ask permission to dial up to the internet at home. That's how old I am. And I think this may be one of the first incidents in history in which an incident like this was captured readily on camera and essentially went viral. And I think the reason Michael Richards was so flippant and racist is because he genuinely didn't realize that somebody could film this, put it on the internet, and it travel around the world, which now we all understand. But back then, especially to a man of his age, I feel like it wasn't something he really understood. And rightly so, this was Michael Richards' last time ever doing stand-up comedy. He essentially withdrew from public appearances and any kind of role in show business after this. And to be honest, I think he made the right choice because it is really hard to bounce back from something like this. But there was an attempt to kind of apologize for what happened, which was equally a disaster. Jerry Seinfeld, Michael Richards' co-star, was appearing on David Letterman's show not long after the incident occurred. And Jerry invited Michael Richards on in kind of like a video link to address the controversy and apologize. And this led to one of the most bizarre moments I've ever seen on TV, in which a bumbling Michael Richards is fumbling his words, and I'm pretty sure the audience for some reason believes that he is in character as Kramer and just starts laughing. It is such a weird and uncomfortable watch, but it's just so interesting that this all happened.
And did you?
I know. I mean, I hear you in your audience laugh, you know, and it's. I'm not even sure that this is where I should be.
And despite the fact that Kramer's legacy lived on through Seinfeld the show, Michael Richards really went into hiding. Aside from a brief appearance in B-Movie, a movie that was created by Jerry Seinfeld, he didn't really do much else in the public eye.
Oh, I'm quite familiar with Mr. Benson's work and his no-account compadres. Haven't they done enough damage already?
And in the meantime, the incident was parodied and referenced a lot in popular culture. Dave Chappelle referenced the bit in a performance at the Laugh Factory.
Every time I see this backdrop, I think about Kramer fucking up.
And the incident was also sent up in an episode of South Park.
You really don't know how hard it is to be constantly reminded of something lame that happened in your past.
And the Letterman apology was also parodied in an episode of Family Guy.
Said some very nasty things to some Afro-Americans.
Stop laughing, it's not funny.
And this really was a true moment of a celebrity being rightfully cancelled for doing something really bad publicly. Michael Richards would later address the incident with Jerry Seinfeld in Seinfeld's show Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, where the two of them sort of discuss whether or not it's time for him to put it in his past.
It still kicks me around a bit.
Okay, well that's, you know,
it's a person.
That's up to you.
Yeah.
That's
a big.
That's up to you to say, you know what, I've been carrying this bag enough.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it down.
Yeah.
And I guess that's where society and the public opinion comes in, because after nearly 20 years, Michael Richards has published this book, Entrances and Exits, in which he talks about this experience, what he's learned, his regrets, and what he's addressed inside himself. And I suppose this is him essentially asking for forgiveness. And I guess we have to think about, at what point does someone who has such an outburst, such an offensive and disgusting outburst, get welcomed back into society? And it seems that maybe the dust has settled on this one. Not only is Michael Richards promoting the book across all kinds of TV shows, he also clearly does acknowledge the horrible nature of what he did and is expressing how remorseful he is.
I canceled myself out.
You canceled yourself.
Take an exodus.
Yeah.
Get away from show business and see what the heck is going on inside me.
I don't think there's a right or wrong answer for this situation. Personally, I love Seinfeld the show and I love Kramer, but at the same time, I understand why people might think that an outburst like that is unforgivable. And overall, I think it's a really curious reflection of popular culture, of cancel culture, and of the time it was back in 2006 and how this was seriously one of the first instances of this kind of thing happening in the 21st century. Oh, thank you so much for watching, guys. What do you think? Is it time to forgive Michael Richards? Can you look past his tirade and forgive him nearly 20 years later? Let me know down in the comments your thoughts on all of this stuff. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you like my videos, please give it a thumbs up and ring the bell and all of the stuff that we're supposed to tell you. Plus, my Patreon is there, patreon.com/RadioMike. Go and subscribe to that. It really helps me out when stuff around here breaks and I have to replace it and stuff. So that would be awesome. Hey, I've got a bunch more videos all on pop culture and stuff like this. So go and check them out. My name's Radio Mike and this has been The Inside of My Mind. I'll catch you later.